RFK as an organization, Brad Keselowski led the most laps, had a pit stop that went awry where he locked the brakes coming in. So he ended up finishing outside the top 5, but still a strong effort. And he was asked afterward, what this means to the organization, and kind of struggled, I think, a little bit to frame it. And he can be that way because I think he realizes he's the team leader as the co-owner. But I think it essentially means, they're almost guaranteed 2 playoff spots now because Chris Buescher is now locked in and Keselowski is so far up with 4 races to go. I don't think there's going to be enough new winners to bump him out, even if he doesn't win in terms of points. So where do you think right now, Kim, that RFK ranks as an organization? I heard some over exuberant, I would characterize it as, colleagues in the media center who were asking, is RFK the best Ford team in Cup? I'm not all in on that. I feel like that's a little bit overboard. I still think you got Penske, you got Stewart-Haas, RFK's in the mix and they've run well, but I don't know if I'm ready to put them in the final 8 of the playoffs yet.
No, not yet. I'd like to see more consistency over the course of more than just a year and a half from kind of the changes that were made when Brad came in and where they're going with the team. Now, if we're having this conversation next season and they have a couple more wins under their belt, and obviously there's comers and goers, so that's still going to be relative to what the other Ford teams are doing, then maybe we have the conversation of they're at the top of the totem pole for the Ford teams. I do think, though, they are at a place where they're toe to toe, if not maybe have a toe over the line relative to SHR, and SHR still winless on the season, and they've got 4 drivers compared to 2. Now, SHR also had a really strong showing this weekend at Richmond. We've seen them also have short track speed, which we've seen from all the Fords. That seems to be kind of where they are strong this season compared to other tracks. But I'm not going to put RFK at the top of the Ford list. I think still, it's hard to argue against Penske, and even they aren't where they could be or where we expect them to be. But I would put RFK right along, even with SHR at this point, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, and just to put a cap on that, Keselowski has now 3 top 10s in his last 4 races, but surprisingly, for Buescher, he had only had 1 top 10 in the previous 5 races. So I think you're right. That consistency is still something they're looking for.
Hi, I'm Parker Kligerman. For more access like this from Pit Road, be sure to click and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel.